city of angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC Podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 202 of the Heart of LAFC Podcast. I don't know about you guys, but this is probably the happiest podcast jump that I've had in a very, very long time. Yeah, probably the happiest I've had in probably 2 years after watching that last episode. And of course, I can't share in this glory all alone and celebrate all by myself. So, of course, we're welcoming back the usual suspects. Welcome back, Tony. Welcome back, Bam. Tony, how are you feeling today? How are you doing?
Sore.
Did you happen to play in a kickball tournament this weekend?
Yeah, a lot of people saw my competitive side, and I don't know if people like that or not.
Dude, my killer first base, in which I pitched 4 or 5 games, man. I have no clue. It was a blur. Yeah, 4 games in the heat. I'm still feeling it. I think I pitched yesterday the way I'm feeling, but worth every bit of it since it was a charity event for athletes in the making. So, yes, I'm feeling muscles I didn't know existed. I know Tony's doing that as well. Shout out to everybody that went out there because it was an absolutely brilliant event. And those who put in the time, yes, congratulations to D9U. And, of course, runners-up Cuervos.
Reverse
Had
it.
you guys.
Reverse
Wait,
it.
Well, Cuervos won it, didn't they? They did turn
Yes.
it around. Ah, yes.
Losers bracket run, and then they beat them, and then they decided to do a penalty shootout for the last game because we were.
Is that really how it? Did you stay for that whole thing?
Yeah, they pretty much they agreed before the game was played. Like, we are going to go to 5. If they won, they were just going to go to penalty shootouts, and Cuervos won, and they ended up going to the field across the baseball field and going for penalty shootouts because.
Well, that's epic.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, I thought it was a joke because I went home to pass out because, pitching 4 games and not doing anything forever before that, I had to go home. But, dude, that's awesome. So congrats to Cuervos. 1 win away from us being champions, I see. And D9U getting the runners up who have never played a kickball tournament before. So check that out for the debutantes. It was all around good. So, again, loved every bit of it. Love you, Vic, for putting that all together, and Cassie for making all the crazy moves to make it happen. We know you're the real MVP, no doubt about that. So hats off to everyone there. Of course, my other suspect of the evening is one and only Bam. Bam, how are you doing, sir?
Going all right. Didn't get much sleep last night because I was too busy watching World Cup qualifiers, but, go do something in lockdown.
Yeah, I hear that you were getting into African World Cup qualifiers, correct?
Yeah. And watched the South Korea World Cup qualifier, then flicked over to the Australian World Cup qualifier, and then I'm like, well, what else is there? Oh, look at that. The African World Cup qualifiers are free on YouTube, so I just chucked that on.
Well, that's just fantastic stuff right there. I love it, man. Again, checking out games you normally never get a chance to is always a good thing. New faces, the whole bit. So good stuff. Good to hear.
Talk about the U.S. not doing so well.
Can we talk about the Greg shouldn't be there? Or is that just me? You tell me this is better than Klinsmann, people. Is this really better than Klinsmann? Is this really better than Klinsmann?
He has his job for a couple more months or something, depending on what happens moving forward. Just because of the summer of champions for you guys.
Summer of champions for teams that never qualify for World Cups or Olympics. But
Champions hangover. Got the Champions hangover going on.
Nobody cares about the Gold Cup. They care about the World Cup. Sorry, that's the real truth of it all. Kings and CONCACAF mean nothing. It's all about the World Cup. Deal with it.
Like,
tough.
If you win that and you got the World Cup spot, then it would mean something more.
But I don't know how it goes.
Yeah. But you're a loser if you don't make it. It's that simple. So, yeah. I have no love, no sympathy for U.S. soccer at all when it struggles. None, because it's usually getting its own way anyway. So I could go on for an hour about that. I won't, because we have stuff to be happy about, people, and we force the happiness right now. Bam, are you still in lockdown, man? Speaking of that.
Yep. Still in
Dude,
lockdown.
Good reason to watch qualifiers. Good escape. Good stuff. I love it. Nice, man. So you got a good chance to scout Kim Moon Hwan for Korea, correct? Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
if
get
he
into that
played,
later, right?
but we'll get
If he
into that
plays.
later.
So we'll get into that later. Let's get into why we're really here. Y'all want to celebrate. Y'all want to talk it up. Y'all want to enjoy what we all got to experience. A victory after 8 brutal lack of victory, nastiness, and ugly play, and questioning everything that ever existed in the black and gold, wanting everybody fired, wanting everybody bought, looking at no, you know what? Throw it all away. Take 14 players out of the lineup. Throw out a bunch of kids unproven in the positions they're playing. Even better, let's play a system we haven't played all year against the third best team in the league. And, maybe we'll get a result out of that. And guess what? We kind of did. So just to start this off and give you the whole story without giving you the whole ending that you already know about. Romero was back in goal. We had Murillo and Fall. Yeah, right. Fall in the middle. Ibiaga gets the start. Shout out to Fresco. I saw the Nigerian flag mouthpiece. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff from Ibiaga. Edwards at left back. What? Janelle and Atuesta anchoring the midfield with Duke in the middle. Arango kind of shifting out to mid as well. Blessing as well. And Jennings up top as the lone striker, with Arango taking turns kind of helping out up top too. But that's what we had out there. So it looked pretty much like a 4-2-3-1 setup, something we've never really tested. Now, I can tell you that Vegas has played with that plenty of times. They shift between 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1, especially when they have Duke to play in the middle, and it's usually interchangeable with Masovsky and Jennings. So there it is. Like, it's not a shock to some of our guys in the field. They've played this plenty of times under Cherundolo. So Cherundolo, sorry, I know, I just can't help myself. So it basically, for many on that lineup, it wasn't a shock. And honestly, anyone growing up in this game, you're never shocked by that lineup. It's pretty common these days, probably even more than the 4-4-2. So yeah, it's the safe bet, right? So we go into the lineup, a lot of players missing, but not so bad looking in the first place. So that is our lineup going into it. Of course, Bam, what did Casey do to counter this thing?
Katie, they decided to do with a 4-3-3 like normal. So they had Malia in goals, Zusi, Sanchez, Fontanes, and Martins in defense. Mid was Espinoza, Mari, and Walter. And the fours were Pulio, Shilton, and I would say Russell, but he went missing.
Where did he go? Whose back pocket was he in?
I would say a certain 18-year-old defender, but
yes, that's right. The fall wonder kid. Yeah, all the way. Wunderkind. Yes.
Wunderkind.
For those who watch Ted Lasso, they're getting a good chuckle right now. Definitely, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, Russell was non-existent, which is a beautiful thing. They made a big deal about how they're going to take us out using their backs, overlapping and overwhelming our team. Like, that was the system. They were scared that, 3 times against the same team, even though it wasn't the same team. But they had to be feeling pretty bullish. Now, Tony, give us the blow-by-blow account as to what actually went down in this match.
So I wasn't there. I was.
Yeah,
I know you were. I'm hoping I'm not banned as our friends at Defenders also feel like they're going to be banned as well after this game, because they weren't there either. But but hopefully just keep us going. We got to keep going. But the quick overview we dominated the match for the most part, which was surprising. Again, this is SKC. This is, like we said last episode, it's like there's no bad for them, and somehow we ended up going good on that. So, but let's do a quick little rundown of what happened in the first half, because there's only 2 things that really matter. That was, of course, Atuesta's the corner kick from Atuesta to Fall for Fall's first goal of the year in career. Let's just say that right now, because that looked very familiar from the first goal he scored in was it? I think it was Atlanta, if I remember right.
Atlanta, the one that MLS took away. Yes.
Yeah. So very similar. So I think we finally may have found our set piece finisher to replace Zimmerman at this point in time.
Wow. Yeah. In a way, I mean, you could say that there's got to be, as much as we love Zim, and we do, Fall, what he's showing already is showing way more upside than Zim's even had. So in these moments, from what we've seen at his age, just the elevation he can get to and the ability to dominate an opponent on a set piece. We've never had a guy like this before.
Well, not only that, you look at it too, like, as I said before, Johnny Russell's a good player. To have him go missing in Fall's pocket is not heard of.
It's nuts. He's a kid. He doesn't play like a kid, but he's still a kid. And we're seeing the hype stuff about him, showing how he's like taking out Barco, Martinez, making Rossi look like a fool in training. He does come in very calm when he's defending. Quite excited on the attack though, and he chooses his moments. That's the one thing that I found extremely interesting when you watch him play is he's cool when he needs to be cool, and he heats up when necessary. He chooses his times to get an edge in a game. He doesn't always have an edge, isn't always overly cool about things. He really is selective in his approach, which, again, is wild for his age. So 17th minute, you know how we always talk about get through the 20th. I guess SKC didn't follow that rule, and we got him before the 20th. So, yeah, 17th minute, Fall for his first, like you said, first goal of the year. The elevation on that was nuts. Watch it for the replay. Just how high his feet were. Like, I don't get it. Like, how do you? It's
Cristiano-esque.
Right? He's like, he floats up there. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So that keeps going. We keep pushing. What happens in the 28th minute?
I think Duke needs to keep this hairstyle because he played like a madman out there, and I've never seen a young man at his age. Like, again, Duke was the baby before Fall. Like, when we first got Duke, he was the baby. You know what I mean? Now he's gone to the lights and gotten like a little edge to him, but he shot a rocket from like outside the box, like a full on, like, if it was on target, it was going in. There was no way like SKC's keeper was stopping that, because that was a nice rocket shot. And I would like, I feel like he wants to keep it in. Like, I want him to keep him on the main team, to be honest. Like, don't send him back to the lights anymore.
Yeah, no, he's earned his chance to get more minutes with this team. There's no doubt about that. I do know that, I'm not going to spoil it, but I know that he was pining for a goal in this match, talking it up, that this was, he had his thing. And from what I understood, there might be a celebration involved. He's got things planned out, people. He is planning on staying. He's planning on making a huge impact for this side and not letting down. And you could see what I like best about Duke, even in this shot, there's moxie. I know it's an old school term, but he's playing with moxie. Gotta for many. He's got an edge. A necessary edge, especially if you're taking on guys that are like twice your age and twice as heavy and taller than you. You got to have a little bit of a pit bull mentality. And that's exactly what he went into this match, is like, I'm not taking anything from anybody, right? I'm going to dictate this game. And he was in a position where he had to, especially against that team. And he didn't let up. And that, what more can you ask for from a young kid, right? Play without fear. So he keeps on going. We get to the 58th, actually get to the half.
Yeah. Like
right.
I said.
And feeling good.
Exactly. Like we were dominating the whole first half. There was, I don't know what was going on with SKC, because like it, like, again, this is the third one of, like, considered to be in the running to win the cup this year. You know what I mean? And we made them look like they're mid-tier table team at the moment. So again, we'll get into it at the end of the recap about this, but there's going to be a very big conversation piece that we need to talk about it. But that's
yeah. Bam, what was your impressions of the first half?
Where was his team last week? Where was his team 6 months ago? Where has his team been hiding? This team is this is the black and gold that we fell in love with. Where have they been hiding?
I know, in Las Vegas, on the bench, playing the system, disciples of Bob's system, doing what they have to do to keep a job next year. Because these guys, these younger guys, there's no promise they'll be on the team next year. They're not like a DP who's guaranteed to stay on, right? Their trajectory is very different. So they're playing for their lives here, their livelihoods. Mm-hmm. And they got a shot. They finally got a shot for many of these guys to show off without playing in the shadows and having to report to somebody else on that field that has to be the star of the team. There were no stars on the day. Nobody played like they were the star of the team. They were playing like they were part of a machine. And so in the first half, where was SKC? Chasing shadows. That's where SKC was. Because every time they moved, every time they thought they had an opening and turned the ball and put an extra touch, there was a guy right on them. Every time they tried to cover space, another guy showed up and they got double teamed in many cases. They got overloaded at times. Our guys were moving off the ball. And that is a big change from what we've seen, and probably one of the biggest changes from what we've seen. Just in this first half, you could see a different approach to the match. That's for sure. So let's move on to the second half because it gets tasty, even more tasty. So Brick, take it away, Tony.
So this is karma for the first game of when we went down to 10 for Tristan Backman. Chicho gets literally he almost got his jersey ripped off, and for good measure. It was it went to a yellow, but then they checked VAR, and you notice that he also stepped on his ankle and went straight to the red, because that was not a good foul. And I don't know what he was thinking personally. I understand pulling the shirt, everyone does it, but I think the foot was a mistake, but you can't do that in a game like this when you're already down 1-0.
I think that was the definition of frustration. Again, chasing guys, always behind it on a play. What do? I can't figure this guy out. What's the best way to do it? I'll slow him down any old way I can. And honestly, he almost got away with it. Without VAR, he would have got away with it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, take your chances. Maybe the legal screw up. They're good at that. So, at least the officiating is. So, take your chances, I guess. It didn't pay off, and so there goes that. And then we keep on going, right? Because it keeps on moving.
Yeah, exactly. So game restarts after that, after the VAR check and everything, and the red card goes in. Atuesta up for the free kick and then finds fault again. Now, again, everyone's been saying about this goal is, as a striker, when you're heading it in that position, you always go to the nearest post of yourself. So if you're on the far post, you're going to aim for that. If you're closer to the near one, you go for that. He decides to go to the keeper, which it's like mentally, as a former, like I said, I used to play keeper and I played striker too. That's just not in my mindset to do that, but it was the right move, and Fall ends up getting the brace for the day and decides to jump into Joseph's arms in that section.
Wasn't mine, but near it. That's for sure. That's for sure. So I will say this. We got the best view ever of this celebration, and this might very well be the best celebration in the history of LAFC. I'll say it right now. It is the best celebration in the history of LAFC. One of my favorite moments of all time for this club, where Fall decides that they're going to send a message to us, the fans, is that we're in it together. Which is why we're calling it We're in This Together, because that's the sign they gave us, is that these kids, this young crew, they stand with us. They struggle with us. They feel the pain we feel, and I know they do. And this was a moment of absolute frustration, finally getting out, and Fall had his chance. So he didn't hesitate. He jumped up, got into it with the Capos, let it rip, let all of us know, hitting his chest, telling everybody to get louder. He did say that. Bring it up. Tuesta said it. Chicho said it too. They know where our heads are at, and they know they need us for this run. And that was the message sent. I think that was the best message you could possibly send as a player for this team, because that instantly makes him a legend in one moment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's never to be forgotten. by anyone involved. So shout out to Mr. Fall. You did a huge service to the 3252 by making the movie made. Yeah, you got your back, that's for sure. And we see it, now everyone sees it. They can't avoid it. Where the passion is, because that was passion, pure passion from every guy out there. You could feel it. So yeah, great moment. Yes, I could talk forever because it's just euphoric, to be honest. It was but we keep going, right? Because they got to keep playing this game. What happens in the 63rd minute, man?
So this is honestly I feel like the only chance that SKC had on the goal, and was for Russell, and it wasn't even really a real good chance because he was pretty shut down by Murillo, and Romero did have to kind of make a good save to do it. But I know, honestly, that was the only shot that they had. It wasn't even like they were in the game, and it was shut. Like everyone knows 110 has their like 110 player to watch things or whatever, and I was trying to win it because it's Rossi's last game jersey. Yeah, that's something to have in your on the wall or something. But I put Russell because Russell is one of those people that is dangerous, but again, he was a non-factor this whole game, and that was his only contribution to the game.
Yeah, that was it. Bottled. So good. As we keep on going, there's another amazing moment by Janela. Janela did something.
Yeah.
Dude, tell us what happened here, Tony.
Dude, Janela, like, this game was actually showing up to what he needed to be, like what we thought we were going to get from him. He literally manhandled the ball away from the SKT defender and gave a nice pass to Chicho, but Chicho just couldn't get the ball and just missed the chance on the goal. But again, Janela was showing up, and like, where was this Janela for the past a year and a half? As long as we've had him.
Too long to see a moment like this, right? That's for sure. He showed his. I know we're gonna get into it a little bit, but he showed his abilities and where he's strong. He needs to be a little farther back into the mix, not too advanced. And playing next to a man like a Tuesta, I think he's in a good spot there. So,
exactly. Yeah,
amazing when you have an overloaded midfield, what your midfielders can do. Just a thought. Yeah. So, that was nice to see. Of course, Chicho being aggressive all game was nice to see as well. He's really in this, man. There's no question how much he's into this side, and you could see it in him. So that was good stuff. Of course, 70th minute. This was wild.
Dude, Duke was like just getting hitting that triangle button or something really well, because he was getting this is one good through ball. There's another one coming up, but he gets it right to Moose, who Moose decides to quickly pass it to Chicho, and Chicho just easy finish for him. And it's nice. Like I said, it's nice for Chicho, because this is everybody's saying that we got him as a striker and a scorer, but this is the Chicho. If you watch actually his highlights and who he is, this is the Chicho. He's a workhorse. He'll grind the goals out, and that's what it is. He's not like a traditional pretty goal. He's a dirty goal. He just gets him in there, and that's what he is.
He makes his own in many cases. Yeah, he prefers to be the workhorse. You're right, and this was classic Chicho. I know we don't know much about him yet, but this is his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Moving on, Duke's pulling more strings, right?
Yeah. Well, this one's actually Blessing. Yeah. This one, Blessing actually has a good through ball to Moose, and Moose all game was trying, but his shot was blocked by the keeper, but he was getting the recognition. He couldn't at the time finish the ball. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it, but that was a good through ball, because not even 2 minutes later, Duke gives him a beautiful through ball that Moose is just one-on-one with the keeper, and he jukes the keeper out and gets him off his feet, and then the keeper just decides to just gets in his way, and we get the PK from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys, if this isn't a blowout already, does that go as a red?
I think so. If the first red doesn't happen, I think this is a red. Because there's no way that you don't call that a red, because you literally obstructed him. It wasn't even he fell into it. He threw his body into Moose's body at the end of the day.
I mean, isn't that a last man foul? There's no one else, right? There's no one, absolutely nobody else. He doesn't touch the ball. It's a red. Like, I don't think anybody would question if it happened. Of course, they'd freak out in the moment, but in a press conference, Vermees is going to be like, yeah, it shouldn't have been. He has nowhere to stand on that if it happens. So, yeah, it should have been called. It wasn't called. Not like it held us back any, because what happens next, right?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, actually, sorry, I forgot something. I went a little bit ahead. See, this is how much like SKC was like irrelevant in this game.
They were,
but SKC on a set piece, unfortunately, scores a goal, but they were offsides. VAR called it offsides, or one of the referee, I forget. I guess
it was.
Yeah,
it was. No
but back into the normal time. Atuesta takes the PK to score, and I know some people aren't. I'll give it to the chat, and you guys can comment down. But like, should Fall taking that PK to get his hat trick and for his first game, or
Yes.
are you okay with? Well, yeah, we already know that.
We know Bam stands.
Yeah, we already know Bam stands. We've had this conversation with him, but or do you give it to Atuesta, who has been facilitating all these goals, and he kind of deserves this goal for himself, you know what I mean? But ends up scoring the goal on PK, and that's 4-0, and then honestly, that's about it. Like, nothing else happens, and at the end of the day, it's the 4-1 that we got, but we've reversed them, except we don't give them a goal back.
Okay, I would take the 4-0, walk away. Revenge is sweet. Just look at Atuesta's reaction after scoring, with telling us to step up, right? Showing where it's at. And we finish out strong. Done and dusted. Whistle to whistle, our match all the way, with new faces, new lineups, new approaches. My reaction, I would just say that this is my favorite match outside of the match that we ended the Zlatan era.
Yep.
Like, those are the two highlights for me, even more than the Seattle first game. This one felt very special. And you're like, well, why so special? It's a regular season match. Because our future was on display. That's why. And our future has more passion than our stars right now. They do. We could win a game without a single DP on the field. No one else in the league is going to do that. I just don't see it. They need all of theirs. And somehow we look stronger when ours aren't around. That means something to me. I also think, one of the reasons I do like it is this was Bob's moment. Make or break. He loses this one, there's a good chance he's toast, right? You'll get no love from anyone. Even though with so many players missing, 9, yeah, it just doesn't happen. So he's on the line. He changes everything from his comfort zone in this match and puts the guys where he feels will put in the most work. I thought it was perfect. I thought the lineup was where it needed to be. He clogged the midfield, something he hasn't done all year. He did this game, a necessary change, and found a way to neutralize a wildly good opponent. They made him look ordinary with the system. And I will say, I think why is because the guys on the field, on the day, in the moment, were the believers. The men that play his system, that don't question his system, they don't question the approach to the game. They were there to play. They're there to listen. The egos don't win the day. You look at any guy on that field, do you see ego? Nope. On the field? Nope. They play their game. There's no question. Are they looking for the next step this week? No, right? Did they have a transfer they're going through? No. They're there for now. They're there for this team, for the playoffs. They know they'll be there in the playoffs if we get there. Okay? So I think that's why I love this game even more, knowing that these are the ones that are in it for the long haul. And you see how they play when they play together. So good on that. Bam, what was your impressions of this match?
My impressions, I listened to you guys off there. Give him the hat trick shot. Got to give him the hat trick shot. Like, I'm happy Atuesta. Like, yeah, I do agree. Atuesta did deserve a goal and all that, but give him a hat trick shot. Just a couple of things I like to put up with Marvin before. His rating was 8.9 for the game. His expected goal was 0.88
for a defender. Like, yeah, his passes were at 68%, but we can forgive that because he
he was doing well in defense as well. His passing out might not be as high as it has been in the past, but stand that game from him. Whoever's doing the contracts, extend his contract now. Extend it now.
Before he ends up at Olympique Marseille, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For free.
Which we can talk about later. Yeah, because honestly, he's playing like a guy that's going to end up in League One soon enough. Yeah, it's there. I'm not overblowing it. Like he's there's something different with this player. So
Exactly.
we need to keep him as long as we possibly can, especially at his age, because we're in a good space there. That's for sure. Tony, your impressions, my man.
So, as I was saying in the beginning, to have the conversation about Bob, but I feel like the people who left, again, thank you for everything, but everyone was wanting the whole Bob in situation, but I feel like this is the situation where people know finally that there are players in Bob's system that didn't want to play because they were done with it because they wanted to move to the next step, And again, I don't understand why players do this. Not because, again, this is not top league. That we're a middle of the road. We're the Liga MXs. We're the Argentinian league, Brazilian league, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? We produce to move them to the next part of their stage, which is Europe. So why are you not? I understand if you don't believe the system or you're trying not to do it, then get out. And some players have, and some players we have sold to do that. But that team believes in that system and believes in Bob. There's a reason why Bob, tactic-wise, is done so well. And also, I'll put this out here. Our team has been together for 4+ years. That's not normal in the MLS.
No. It's a blessing and a curse.
Exactly.
In many cases, a curse.
It's like a core does not stay for 4 years. The longest I've seen a core stay is probably Seattle, but that's changed so much more. And you only have like 3 core players after that. But those kids believe in that system and will continue to believe in that system to get better.
Yeah, and I won't say that the ones that weren't in the lineup don't believe in it. I won't say that. I will say this. If you know that your next contract is already decided and you're not here for MLS Cup, you're not here to get into the playoffs, you're here to stay healthy and move on in your contract, you can't help but have a little different feel. Are you really going to get stuck in on a 50-50 ball? Are you really going to do that? Be real, right? And I know when you play, but it's still in your head. Can't help it being in your head. And if you're, I'm not calling out B-Rod because we saw what he did against the Galaxy, but he's been in the wilderness for a long time. This is the first time we've seen the real deal, what it should be. And he showed up with the national team. We'll talk about that too. Maybe he's turned a corner. We'll see. He needs to, especially because he might be the only DP we have left until next season. So being real, not giving press conferences about leaving at the end of the year either. It means something too. And I can't help but maybe that was some fire for the boys as well. Like, who's going to lead the guys that are here now? So there goes that. Definitely, I think it's a good time to throw it out to everybody else out there before we completely rip people's heads off. But let's stay positive. So I see Marvin's in the house. Hooligan Ox is here as well. Jason, Louis V, good evening to you, sir. Junior, for some reason I thought I had you coming on tonight, but hey, we'll get you soon, my brother. Love you, man. Mark Lopez, I like this. Okay, interesting take from Mark. I'll throw this one out here. Did you guys see it? Where'd it go? He's hiding from me here. Someone just called Duke River Phoenix. I think it was Mark again. He goes, LAFC winning MLS Cup is the only thing that would bring me more joy than the U.S. men's national team not making it to Qatar. I ain't saying that, but I get you. Some people's love and hate are intertwined. I understand. I get it.
See, I want the USA there so Australia can beat them.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
I just want to.
That's the thing. We go there. All of a sudden, we play good. So that's the other story. Unless we play Ghana and then forget it, it's over. But yeah,
I just want the US media to go crazy on ESPN like always. That's all I want. It's always fun to watch that.
How many times do you have here Taylor Twillman saying, "Are you kidding me?" I'm done with that too. So no, thank you. And we don't really want to hear Lawless pontificate. So just get in the darn tournament, right? Just get in the tournament. So we have to hear those guys go off. Mark Lopez, Bob is the best coach in MLS. Team of the week doesn't lie. Nobody is saying that. Nobody's saying that. But give credit where credit is due, right?
Give him a lifetime contract.
No. Nope. We're good there. No contracts for life. Mark Lopez, given the context, Friday's game was one of the best ever in the bank. Never heard the North End ladder. That's what's the funny part. I love how Mark brings this up because the usual suspects were not there. So maybe 14 were missing on the field, but at least 1,400 were missing. 1,400 regulars were missing from the 32-52 on the day. And yeah, y'all got shamed because the newbies kicked your butt. Sorry there, Tony, but they did. It was because I guess they just finally got their chance, right? Just like the same thing as we're finally here. Let's do this. And so it was nuts. It was nuts in that section. I'm looking behind me. I'm like, who's that guy? It was like that. But then I'm like, well, that guy's singing. So we're all happy now. And so that was legit. Good stuff, Mark. It was loud. It was really loud. Marvin, since we are suffering defensively, I think it's key to have 3 CBs: Fall, Murillo, Ibeagha. Ibeagha was very solid. What I hope he would be, to be honest. You know what, though? I was really happy when he went out wide. He seemed really comfortable playing way out wide at times. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting when the guys come back to see what comes of it, because he did acquit himself rather well to be a starter with his level of play. And it's hard to talk Fall or Murillo off the starting lineup. So that's a nice fight. We'll see how that plays itself out. Bam looks like he wants to say something here.
No. I agree completely. It was for not having watching him play many, because didn't play for us, so I didn't really care about how he went with his other teams. I was very surprised with him for his age, and I'd happily keep him in the back there. Him and Fall at the back seemed to have good chemistry for their first game together, really.
Yeah. And Ibeagha does, like I said, I've said it before, he's really good as the supporting defender.
Mm-hmm.
Where somebody else is the anchor. He shines in those moments, and he did again. I don't think there's any question. That's exactly what he was. He was supporting who was anchoring the back line, and the back line was anchored by Murillo and Fall. Let's be real. They were solid on the day. And I think simplification is a good thing, right? Just simplify your play. Jason Lemus, the team can definitely get productive goals off corners going forward with Fall in the box. Ibeagha could be a conversation with that as well. You have to respect his size too. And now you have a couple taller players with Murillo as well that can overload a bit. So, yeah, dude, the elevation, again, I keep saying it, Fall, when you watch how high he gets, it freaks me out. Like, I really wonder, do you think he could slam dunk at that height?
Yeah.
He's flying.
Yeah.
He actually mentioned it on his Instagram stories. He had a like Ask Me Anything thing, and that's where we found out about his love for Marseille and all that. But he's like, he did mention how high he can jump. I can't remember how high it was, but it was fairly decent.
He's an athlete.
Yeah, I'd love to see him on one of those things where it's like the little tape measure thing, and you hit it with your hands to see how high you can get. I'd really love to see where he can get on that, because it's pretty impressive. Mark Lopez, Duke looking like River Phoenix and Stand By Me with that haircut. Oh my gosh, yeah, man. He looked like he was ready to go to war. I think that's how short it was. He's going to battle. He could wear a helmet. Yeah, he's in the army now. No doubt about that. It was good. Again, he had an edge, my favorite kind of edge. It's good. Marvin Chavez, we've been needing a central attacking mid really bad. We've never had one. We've lacked good transition from midfield to attack. I agree, but we really haven't had a central attacking midfield position provided with the lineups that we've had.
True. Right?
It's either 3 across or 2 high, 1 low. Not somebody just playing as a central attacking mid, so that was a different vibe. Naturally. controlling mids, we're all about that. So it was a different vibe altogether. Which Duke was good there. It was fine. I've been wanting an experienced 10 playmaker, but if we aren't signing one, Duke might work. That's the thing. He's the future, right? I mean, he's not the now, except this moment he was the now. But sustained over a season, it's going to be tough for him. But the upside is definitely there. It would just be really cool to get it. I agree with you. The number 10 at this team in that type of a system, because now I can think where B-Rod's going to fit in if we play that system, and I'm feeling real good about our chances. So, yeah, number 10 will be real nice. I'll take one. Jason Lemus, Duke doesn't take shit. I'll say it. Pitbull mentality for sure. Exactly. So we got him playing Pitbull mentality. We got Fall, and I've heard someone tell me, dude, it's Mamba mentality, the way he talks about like his relationship with dad and like, I'll take a challenge and I'll put it on the back of my shirt as like Mamba mentality. So we got some guys that was an edge. The young kids got edge. It's good. It's good. Marvin, question. Do y'all think besides us having a good game, SKC just had a bad game? Red card catalyst. Part of me wants to wait from getting excited too soon and wait for a few games to judge this new form. Again, this form was a necessity. It was done out of pragmatism, not like we're going to do this whole new thing. It was like, well, what we got is what we're going to work with. I do think SKC, and I mentioned in the last episode, they're going to hurt more from the 2 that were missing in their lineup than we're going to hurt from the 14 that we were missing on the day. I think I said that last week, that their striker missing is a big deal. A big deal. Their center, Keita, right? Yeah. Middle. Yeah. Those 2, Salvi and him, they're the engine. And you could see they couldn't cope with losing 2 guys. Shows you how deep we are compared to them. That's a sign. They've got weakness. So good. We found it. We found the weakness in the armor. Yay. We'll just see what we can do next. Jason Lemus says Roger Espino deserved the red and showed he's a punk when he pushed security. Yeah, he had a temper tantrum coming off the field. I know those on TV didn't see that, but he straight up pushed security. It was crap.
It was on TV. I saw it.
Yeah.
Amateur hour all the way. They couldn't take it. They couldn't take the heat. Check that out. Mark Lopez. Go for it.
It wasn't the first time that security guard's been involved with a little pushing, shoving during a game.
Well, he don't put up with anything, so
I know.
There it is. He's the man. He's the man. You know that already. Check out the Instagram account. I'm not saying it's his, but check it out. It's good stuff. Fall finally arrived in LA by putting on the sombrero. He's the only guy to ever do it. Right?
Yeah.
It took a young player to get the guts to do that. Right? Good on him. First guy to truly take it into the section. Ox, Fall, let it be known, true legend in the making. The legend is now.
Or even made.
There's a legendary moment that's never going away. You're going to see that in every highlight reel every season from now on. It's not ever going away, which it shouldn't. Marvin Chavez, I think Fall was a game changer. If you didn't score those headers, it could have been a different game. Maybe one where the scoreline was once again 2 and close. You know what? He did. At the end of the day, he did because he needed to be where he needed to be. He made the movements proper. We saw signs that the service could happen when Murillo did it in the All-Star game, that something could start clicking, and it did. We broke the duck. It happened. Yeah, I'm just happy that it did. Jason Lemus, LA Free front office gets looked down sometimes. Credit to the organization for bringing up guys like Fall and Duke. Right. When we brought in Fall, I think the common conversation was, oh, maybe they're just doing it to keep the relationship with the academy over there happy. I heard that from several. They're just doing that because they gotta move people around. And he's just gonna spend time in Vegas. It's all good. Even I had no idea what this kid had to offer. Who did, right? How do you scout that? But yeah, I think they're right. And Duke, we had to buy him off of Barcelona Academy in Arizona. Yeah. And then he goes down in Vegas, gets his chance to get first team ball there, and he owns it. He really does. So Again, the Vegas experiment paid off for both of these guys. That side, you got to give the front office credit because it's the first year we're doing that, and these guys showed up there. If Fall's not playing for Vegas this year, do we even know what he has potential to do? Does he ever get a game like this if he's just sitting on our bench all season? No, it doesn't happen. It's because of Vegas that this happens. So we have to be happy about that. That's for sure. Marvin Chavez, Fall robbed for Player of the Week made me sad. He did get ripped off. I agree.
Yeah.
Scored 2 goals from an improbable role. The other guy that took it scores 2 goals because he always does this in games when half the teams are missing. Right? I think there's the only time that he was it Mukhtar from Nashville, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he scores braces on international breaks that aren't. I don't know. I'm not that impressed. Fine. He's supposed to do that. That's his job. Fall's job is different. So, yeah, standout performance should have got it. Fall was robbed from Hooligan Ox. Exactly. Fall should have gotten the PK. Youngest hat trick, at least by a defender for sure. Yeah, if he gets that hat trick, then he is Player of the Week without question, right? Can you argue at that point a hat trick for a kid?
No.
Now, I do think Atuesta needed his pound of flesh from that team. He had revenge. He had to get one in on those guys for his own confidence. I think that was proper on his end. He needed it. Not like he didn't earn it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
You got
the show would
both.
say. Yeah, that's the thing. I support either. It's cool. But yeah, Player of the Week would have been cool. Marvin Chavez, history. Oh, we made some history. That's for sure. Jason, going forward, I feel like Tony's cat chilled and relaxed. The future is in good hands. Black and gold, baby. Is your cat back there hiding, dude? Is that what's going on over there?
See
Somebody spotted a kitty cat.
There's
I
spot
see
right
it.
here. There's one right there. That's Riley, and then the one that was right there was Moo. He always chills right there. All the cats for some reason like that little spot, but yeah, they just chill for right there.
Yeah, they're moving quicker than the SKC backline. I see. Okay,
Yeah, they are.
Good. Mark Lopez. Yeah, they definitely should have let Fall take the hat trick. Yeah, that would have been cool. Ox missed most of the match since we had a bad thunderstorm that took out our power for about almost 2 hours. Got to catch the highlights. Oh, Hooligan Ox. I'm sorry, man. You did miss the classic, that's for sure. Wait, I thought Marvin was going to be on tonight as a special guest. So Marvin is going to be on the next episode. Yes. We're putting him on, I believe, Thursday next week. That's the plan, to have him on Thursday. So that is going to happen. Okay. We talked to him tonight. I know. We should have had him on tonight, but we'll have him on next week. That's for sure. He's already set up. We got this. LA Wolf fan, good evening to you as well, sir. Carlos C jumps in with, I always thought Atuesta should be playing higher up in the midfield, threading shorter passes. Yeah, I mean, he can, but he just does really good at controlling other players out there, controlling tempo, and I think he feels comfortable in that role. He could do either way. That's the beautiful thing about Atuesta. He could take his moments. LA Wolf fan, I believe red card on LAFC started the game winning, and the fact they added more goals after the red card was mission accomplished. Ugly or beautiful, a win is again. I remember us allowing a goal against the shorthanded team earlier this year, did we not?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's nice to have the killer instinct for once. Good stuff. Mark Lopez, Ox, they couldn't bring Marvin on if we scored multiple corners. I know. We can't put him through that. We're going to kill him on that. Yeah, there it is. Set pieces as well. Marvin, hell yeah. Exactly. Ox, indeed. And Louis V in the mix. Dale. Fall has love for the club. You can see it in his eye. That's what I keep saying is every guy on that lineup has love for the club. You could tell. I've heard the stories of these guys dying after that Vancouver game, like emotionally spent from those moments, feeling bad for us. This is true. This is the group that bleeds for this thing. Okay? That's why they play the way they do. That's what we need. That's what's going to get us into the playoffs. Skill can only take you so far. It's got to be the fight. That's for sure. Jason Lemus. Musowski needs to finish that PK he earned. Wasn't the only missed goal opportunity. I want him to put the ball in the back of the net. I agree, Jason. My only thing I will say for the case of Mr. Musovski is he was there, man. He was there, and he being there is something, which means he actually moved. He made the right runs. He was doing the right things to get into the positions to aggravate us all by missing at the last possible second. But he was there where others, like let's say Jennings in the first half, the runs weren't there. He wasn't picking the right spots. He was really struggling with finding the right spots, where Musovski didn't struggle with it. He got caught offside. Some were questionable, but he was still much more aggressive in the role than Jennings was in the first half. So I will always say that for Musovski, dude. The guy, he doesn't give up. That's for sure. That's for sure. Fall didn't exist. He did exist in this town called Vegas. Yes. For a short time. Do you guys think Bob will repeat this setup again? That is probably the question of the night. And I'm happy that LA Wolf fan brought this up. Do you think Bob will repeat this setup again?
Maybe next game.
I'm gonna go. Bam, you take this one, man. Like, what do you think?
I wouldn't be against it. There's players that are on the way back from international duties already. Depends on how long they got to quarantine for. If they got to quarantine, we don't know. But for the next game, I'll start this.
Yeah, right. And we'll talk about the potential lineup for the next match in a little bit when we preview. I will just say this. Can you imagine this lineup with Brian on the left? B-Rod coming with more space on the attack from left mid. Like, daylights, man. And then behind him, you have Palacios overlapping in the attack. There's added support because you have more in the midfield. I can't help but feel like, oh, that's going to be fun to watch. Then you bring Cifuentes into this mix. Put him in the number 10 spot if necessary, because he could play it. Keep Blessing out wide if you want. Put Chicho up front to let him work out some goals. Plays a mobile striker up top, where he just picks his places. Come in wide, come in narrow. Doesn't matter because he's the guy up there. I could feel pretty darn good about that. So I'm okay with it. I think we'll be perfectly fine. And Janela, I think, was loving the role next to Atuesta. You can even keep him out there if you want to. Keep Blessing where he's at. It's good. It's good. So I would honestly might prefer that right now just to see where it takes us. Will Bob do that? Yeah, I hate to be Debbie Downer, but I think Bob loves his systems that he has with his players, so we'll see what happens. I'd love to see it again, but I think they've always had RSL's number, and he's comfortable with a certain system against that side, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Bam, did you want to jump in on that or you want to save that one for later?
We can jump in now if you want.
Go for it.
Park with the international. So with the international duties, we've had B-Rod playing over in for Uruguay. He played 69 minutes in a 4-2 win over Bolivia. Had 1 assist and a rating of 8.8. It's not too bad. For Ecuador, we've got 2 players over there, Sifu and Palacios. It was a 0-0 draw with Chile. Sifu played 57 minutes and Palacios wasn't even on the team sheet. So didn't start didn't play, was on the team sheet game before, didn't play this, wasn't even on the team sheet this game. Should he still be over there or should he come home early? Me, come home early, get some game time. Yeah. We also had Kim Wan, who was an unused sub in last night's 1-0 win over Lebanon. That's his last game for the World Cup qualifiers at the moment, so he should be on his way back. With him coming back, does he have to quarantine? We don't know. Doing some deep digging with our 2 players in the under-20 Mexico side. Tony Leone was in the starting lineup for the 5-1 first game loss against Spain. For the second game, in the 3-2 loss, he scored a goal. Don't know how long he played. Don't know anything about Christian Torres, whether he played or not. Couldn't find anything on that. But he scored a goal against Spain's under 19.
He didn't just score a goal, Bam. Just tell everybody. You sent me that video. You sent us that video. That wasn't just scoring a goal, was it? That was more than that.
It was a nice little run outside the box. Good shot.
Yeah, from distance, man. He embarrassed that goalkeeper. He really did.
He did. So that there are internationals that are away. Like you still got B-Rod and Sifu and Plus have still got one more game. They're playing against each other in 2 days' time. Kim Min-1 should be on his way home, and so should Tony Leone and Christian Torres should be on the way home now.
Okay. So Cifuentes, when's his probable return?
He plays against B-Rod in 2 days' time. So the kickoff is 12:30 my time, Australian Eastern Standard Time, coming up. So I'd say in about 3 days we should be on a plane back with B-Rod and Cheeky Palacios.
And we play on a Sunday, thank goodness. So there could be some minutes for those guys.
It could be.
Okay. Potential. The only guy that we're really in mystery land with is Kim Min-1, right? We have no idea when he's coming back.
Well, hopefully he'll be on a plane now because they had the last game for the World Cup qualifiers last night. Their next World Cup qualifiers not till mid-October.
There it is. Okay. So he could be back. He could definitely be back. All right. I mean, Ibiaga seems okay if he's over that side of things. So if he's ready, he's ready. If he's not, he's not. I honestly feel much more confident with Ibiaga. That's for sure.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, he could ease back. Left back is a different story, right? We're all like, well, Raheem played great on the day, but the big but, right? And we'll talk about that more. But, okay, so it sounds like some other boys are coming back. Our impact players are definitely coming back. B-Rod, though, might not be a guy that could play a full 90, that's for sure, because they're coming out real close.
Yeah.
Any of those guys. Yeah. From South America, we'll see. Okay, so that's an interesting thing. Now that you've brought up the international stuff, we might as well just go back into more club news right now and talk about our standings in Major League Soccer before we get into community news. I will say right now we're in 9th place. Yeah, 2 places out of the playoffs. We currently have 27 points. We do have a +1 goal difference, 32 for, 31 against, for a 7, 6, and 9 record. Now, if we were to get a win against Salt Lake, that would move us up 3 points. That would actually have us catch and jump past Salt Lake and Vancouver and tie up with Portland, okay, for the 6th seed, and we'd be back in the playoffs.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Right, man?
Portland,
that sound about right?
Portland, yeah, but Portland play Vancouver this week.
Oh,
yeah, but Vancouver's beating teams right now. So
yeah.
So that makes it all trouble because they're ahead of us too. So whatever could happen at this point, we could have could have at least 3 teams at 30 points no matter what. Whether Vancouver gets a win, tie. If they tie, then it makes it real complicated. But you got to realize that the 5th place team, Minnesota's only got 31 points. We're not far from them if we get this win. And Carson's only at 36. So it's still tight, guys. It's not like we've been run over. You know, it's we string a couple together. We're right in the mix yet again in the playoffs, doing what we got to do. So playoffs, yeah. It's a definite reality. If we get a win and we string a couple together, we're in. Just keep going. Play 500 ball and you'd get in if you do that. But you got to string a few together and get back on the right side of the standings. That's for sure. Yeah. So that's where we're at in the club news for right now, and of course our players coming back now. Club and community, Tony. Do you have any updates for club and community, sir?
Nothing so far that I saw. Like I said, the only real big event that we had was the kickball tournament. You know, it was a fun event for the people who did go. You actually had a nice little surprise. If most people didn't know, Steady Eddie was there.
Steady Eddie was there running raffles, guys.
Yeah.
We had some really cool raffles from AIM for those who were playing the raffle. But Steady Eddie was there. Eddie Segura was walking around with the knee brace and all that, but he's getting around okay. Why was he there? He was supporting his pops, who was actually playing on the AIM kickball team. Right, family affair. So it was really cool. But Paul from security was there as well. Y'all know Paul. Y'all love Paul. He was hanging out at the game as well. So that was super neat. A lot of staff. ACFC was in the place. It was, again, good community.
Forgot her name at the moment. I'm sorry. I apologize. She was one of our Falconers, the boxer.
Sinisa?
Yes, Sinisa was there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was doing the raffle too. Again, just the community came together. It was a probably our best attend. Even though we had less teams competing this year, in terms of just people showing up, we had more this year. There's just more people around, more supporters, more black and gold. You would have never known we were in a struggling kind of season from the look of things, because there's so much fun going on the day. So, again, thank you everyone who supported, came out in the heat, and did what you did. Thank you to the umpires who took an absolute beating from all of us for pretty much every game, as we were all figuring out the rules together. But hey, it's for charity, man, as Jimmy reminded me 27 times in the day. Sorry, Jimmy, it's just my way. I want to win. That's it. But it was good. It was good times. Y'all made me pitch and my arm fell off, but it's okay. It's okay. It's kickball, people. Come on, how bad can it be? So yeah, good stuff. Next time we have this jump out, I know eventually our soccer tournament will get back into the swing as well. I can't wait for the 110 Cup to return. So more events are on the way, that's for sure. Viewing parties and all. Now, there is a tradition, and usually I hand this off to everyone else except for myself. But I figured that today, in light of the victory, in light of the messaging, that I would actually play the Vinyl Club Minute and have fun with that. Yeah, and show my age in the process. So my choice for the Vinyl Club Minute vinyl of the day would be 9 Inch Nails' Fragile album. It came out in 1999, but you could get it on a vinyl release from the 2017 Ultra Definitive Edition. It's a 2-discer right there. Why? Because of the key song for me, which is We're in This Together, which is what I titled this episode. If you haven't heard it, no, it's not from Glee, so don't go there.
It wasn't Glee.
No.
We're talking about High School Musical.
Was that what it was? Okay,
yeah.
some lame old thing. All right. Music that gets butchered. No, it was not in that, right? No. So 9 Inch Nails, We're in This Together. Go listen to it. I swear the lyrics you could turn into a soccer chant. It's all about going through hard times and pushing through. And sticking together. That's the key to get to where you need to go. So little edgy, little poppy, all good, but it's 9 Inch Nails at its finest. So have fun with that, people. There it is. So moving on from that, I know I did a 9 Inch Nails album from 1999. So freaking be it. There you go.
If Johnny Cash thinks 9 Inch Nails is cool, then they're cool. Come on now. Mr. Man in Black. Come on,
dude.
Now.
Right? Trent Reznor, man. Just if you can't have love for 9 Inch Nails, just I question your songbook. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, let's move on from the fun stuff to the necessary and the preview of previews. Yes, we have LAFC versus RSL. Talk about run of form. Tony, where are they at? What are they doing? What do we got to look forward to here?
They are, best way to say it, they are a middle of the road team. They have 8 wins, 6 ties, 8 losses for the season. Since the last time we played them, they are 4-2-4. So from that, you can see that they don't game, they don't win, they don't tie, they don't do anything. They're kind of just there, which is dangerous, but also could be an easy game. But again, you never know which RSL you'll get because they're so just a coin flip.
It's like playing a racing video game. And you're trying to get back up in the standings for pole position, and there's always that one that's always in the middle that you just have to pass. That's RSL, people. That's RSL. All the way. Yeah, they had one good run, right? And now it's just they exist. And they replaced the coach, right, guys? So that happened too. So
still running
new coach, but it looks like the same old thing. So, Bam, how did they do the last match? Because I think that was a positive for them.
It was. They had a nice little 3-2 win over Dallas. So it actually was a semi-decent game. A couple of the highlights from the game. 19th minute, Jaro scores for Dallas, which he only got the ball from a beautiful dummy that pulled the RSL defenders away from him to just poke it past the keeper. Between the 20th and 40th minute, RSL had the most chances to equalize. They were just dominating having good shots, just getting saved and all that. In the 42nd minute, Glad was able to equalise for RSL with a free header from a nice cross in the box. He ran from outside the box. No one was on him. It's a type of header that Mamadou Fall would happily take. No one on him, jump up high, straight in. In the 45th plus 2 minute of injury time, Herrera copped a yellow for dissent. I didn't see exactly what he said, but to copy yellow, it's got to be something for that. 54th minute, Mendes gives RSL the lead. They came from a shot from outside the box, got deflected towards the keeper. Keeper just got a hand to it, which fell at Mendes' feet for him to poke it through. 72nd minute, Rosnek extends the RSL lead with a shot from outside the box. Got saved, but bounced off the keeper onto the post into the goal. It was a complete shambles of a goal. Go have a look at that goal because that's classic MLS goal. Put it that way.
Yeah. Oh my god.
In the 80th minute, Ferreira was able to pull one back for Dallas. This was a nice goal. Cuts back from the first defender to get away from it. Second defender comes across, cuts back again, and then was able to roof it over the keeper's head. So that was the goals for the game. A couple of key stats. Possession, RSL was leading 54-45. Shots, RSL had 25-14. 12 of those shots on target. Crosses, they were leading 20-8. They were down corners 3-4. They had 10 fouls to 14, 2 yellows each. And the team's expected goals were 2.9 for RSL and 1.7 for Dallas. So they both went over their expected goals. Off the bench, at the 82nd minute, RSL had a double change, with Besler and Chang in for Ruiz and Menendez. And in the 93rd minute, Julio came in for Ruben.
Okay, interesting.
He doesn't just shoot photography. Ruben's actually playing the game.
If you'd only shoot me. Sorry, just had to go there. Love you, Ruben.
Love you, Ruben.
When you shoot me.
Sounds so wrong.
In the best kind of way. There it is. I can't get out of this one. I get it. All good things. So this is where they're at. They get a victory. They're looking strong in one day. Otherwise, they don't ever look strong. We've had our opportunities against them. We've had good results against them. So it kind of puts them in an interesting light, you could say. But Tony, who should we really look for? Who do we got to watch out for in this match?
To be honest, their midfield. Like, not even just anyone in, like, there's no certain person. It's just their midfield. It's been dangerous, which is, like, it's been, I feel like I'm like a broken record just saying it over and over, but it's literally the last couple games, it's always been the midfield, and it's a dangerous thing because without the top teams, if you're not on the top of the team, you have your top scorers, you have the strikers that you need. But since we're in the pack of this, are we in playoffs, not in playoffs? They don't have strikers. So their midfield are creating all their chances off set pieces, off crosses, off everything. So to be honest, that's the we have to watch out for their midfield. We have to, again, clog the middle up again and try to stop that from going forward. But the other thing which is good for us is they're a slow starting team. They need time to wake up. So that's a good thing because we're also a slow starting team, but at the same time, we can also wake up really quickly, especially being at home. It's going to work to our benefit. And yeah.
If we're bringing the kids out, for sure. You know, if that's the lineup we're going to go with, go young again, get scrappy, we could put them in the hole quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure. And then let them try to claw back. We have that opportunity, that's for sure. Now, here's the interesting. If we play the 4-2-3-1, guess what they play, everybody? That's right. No shock to anyone. The 4-2-3-1. You're like, really? Yeah, they never change. They're very predictable. They change coaches. System stays the same. What? Yeah, it's like getting a new paint job on an old Honda Civic. You know what it's going to do. It might look different, but you know what it's going to do. So basically, here it goes. In goal, Putna. Back is Glad and Silva as your center backs. Interesting is the outside backs do get shifted a bit. So you have Powder on the left sometimes. Sometimes he plays on the right. You have Herrera that usually plays on the right and Morgan that plays on the left. So you have an interchangeable situation of your left and right backs. Interesting. Your defensive mids, holding mids, in many cases is going to be Ruiz and Everton, but Bessler's there as well, and he could take Everton's role. That does happen at times as well. Of course, they're attacking mids. This is where everything gets generated, is that midfield. So you have Krylak, you have Rusnak, and you have Menendez. And for good measure, if they need a little bit of support, you have Miram to come in. So they have 4 good options that can all interchange in those positions, and they can. I do think Menendez is preferred to be on the right side, Rusnak on the left, Krylak in the middle, but they do interchange. So that can be fun on the day. Krylak is your dead ball situation specialist that we have to be very vigilant with, that we cannot give them plays deep because he can hit you on the dead balls. So that's never going to go away. That's what he does. And then Ruben is the guy up top, the choice. He takes. I'm not going to talk about shots. Sorry. I'll be nice. Can only go so far with this, people. But yeah, and then I don't know. They had somebody else they bought for big money. What happened to him? Does anybody know?
Talking about Bobby Wood.
Yeah. What happened to that guy?
He's out injured. Not back till late September.
Oh, what a shock. Yeah. He did a lot. He did a lot in Germany too, I think. So, hey, at least when I have one of those situations, people. So, yeah. Wood's hurt for the 27,000th time. So, Rubin, I guess it's your show. So there it is. Any other thing? Anybody off the bench, maybe, Bam, that you might see come into this thing?
No. They've also got McMath, Ramirez, and Brody all out injured. So they're the 4 injured players at the moment. Had no one off for international duties. So I think what you see is what you get at the moment. So
can you imagine that, having no players off for international duty? How convenient is that?
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's bad. You just get to be all-stars when people go on international break. Well, pick your times, people. No, I would rather have guys going off the international play. Yeah. And a league that's grown up that doesn't play on plastic pitches and
league that has international breaks.
Yeah, grown-up stuff, that would be nice. That would be nice. What's that? Grown-up things. So there's that with their lineup. That's what we can expect. So could it be a 4-2-3-1 versus a 4-2-3-1? Or are we going to look to overload the 4-3-3? Are we going to get funky and play wing backs? Only time will tell, right? Bam, you mentioned who's back or potentially back. So that kind of gives us a little more mystery as to who's available for this match, because we really don't know. And so consistency tells you that maybe the kids get their moment yet again. Could be interesting. For sure. Tony, your takes, sir. What do you expect from our boys in this match?
I expect the same intensity from them, to be honest. Like, we're coming off a nice win, and like I don't see us putting like our foot off the pedal. Like, this is all go. Like we've been saying, last pod, this pod, they're playing for the next contract for them to stay on this team, because I don't know about everybody else, but again, bias, because this is our team. I'd rather play for LA and play here and play under the lights and get recognized,
Right.
It's earned. So I feel like that we're just gonna have the same intensity moving forward, and everyone's gonna do their job. Again, we don't know who we're gonna get back, because COVID protocols is very odd here, because we have vaccines. We have the vaccine for some players that have it, but then again, it's some of our players are coming from Europe, some are playing from South America, some are red zones, some are orange zones, whatever it is. So at the end of the day, it's like if it's still the kids, then the kids are all right.
Oh, at least none of them had to play with McKinney this weekend. So,
Yikes!
ouch. Yeah, respect the protocols, people. Yeah, it's hard to see what it's going to be. But yeah, I think you're right. Youth movement's the end of the be all and end all. That's for sure. And now it gives us this crazy debate, and I'll bring it up right now before we get into comments, and maybe they want to throw in. You guys definitely invited to throw in.
Please throw in.
Right? Some are better at throw-ins than others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So basically, looking at the young players, seeing the promise, our DP situation comes completely into question now. Right? Who stays, who goes? Will Vela go? Will Vela stay? Are we even going to push that hard for him to stay if the young kids can play? Or look for some new blood to kick some butt? B-Rod doesn't look like he's leaving anytime soon, but he definitely looks like he's going to be picking up his game if we had any vision of that before he left for a national break. And the way he played, right, for his national team, did pick up a killer assist there. Look good on the day. If that's his form coming back to us, then okay, right? He stays. If you can put that in every week, then he stays. There's no question.
To add
and then
to
maybe
that,
two.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was gonna say to add to that goal, that assist. It was honestly the exact same play he did, but instead of scoring, he assisted. If you look at it side to side, it's like almost the exact same thing that he did over here against Carson.
Give him more yardage, see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You give that man space and get up to speed, he kills you. He just does. So when he's more comfortable, you see what B-Rod can do. When he's not answering to another DP, right? Dealing with a star he has to answer to, you see B-Rod play a little differently. So let's hope that's the form that comes home. That's for sure. If that does happen, then yeah, the question is who comes back next year. It's a hard question to ask right now since we're just trying to push into this playoff series. But, it looks like two aren't coming back for a while. One's gone for good. You got to talk, right? So good stuff. We'll see your guys' comments in a few minutes here. Anybody else want to add anything before we throw into the community here?
Yeah, one thing I just had a quick look up. From 6th down to 11th in the Western Conference, they're all playing each other.
Yeah.
So that bunch there, that fighting for those last two spots of playoffs, that's going to get close this weekend. We're lucky enough to we've got the last game out of all of us, so be keeping an eye on some of those games for sure. Definitely.
I'll try.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna. Honestly, this is the best time for MLS. I will say this is September, October, and MLS tend to be the tastiest affairs because teams are now playing for keeps, right? Not just going through the motions. They got to, this is where the cream rises to the top, and those who fade. This gets real for sure. So these are the best games to watch. The craziest games. You see guys kicking the ball into crowds to waste time at the last minute. League match.
Kicking /
so
throwing. Remember, he kicks the ball out, then he picks up the ball and throws that out.
Bam, show that clip as well, man. The guys were asking for it. God, that was awesome. That was so
you know what? I would happily take that from one of our players to do that. Copy yellow for that? Fine. Don't care. I would happily have any
even
of our players
better.
Do that.
Sign the ball before you do it. Oh, that's good. If you guys didn't see it, I guess it's the Chicago match, right?
Yeah.
Where,
New England.
No,
Yeah.
New England. Okay.
New England, Philly.
Yeah, that's a good battle anyway. So,
Yeah.
Dude, that was funny. I love that. So let's get into the comments from everybody here. Wolfan, I think Bob will repeat the setup again. Was a conversation we just had. We definitely covered that pretty well there. Jason Lemus, any love for Raheem Edwards performing well? He did perform well on the day. He also closed down and prevented crosses. What? I didn't watch them and get a great view. So no cheat code this week.
That's a Redeem Edwards I'd love to see every week. If he brings that out every week, happily take it.
He learned from his mistakes, apparently, which is something that's all we can ask for. Good things. Marvin Chavez, B-Rod in the 5 instead of Raheem. I mean, Raheem's not even in the conversation if Palacios is back, right? So, yeah, I want B-Rod in the mid. I do. Outside mid, I think would be great for the man. It'd be fun. Honestly, that 5-man setup with the 5-2-3-1 or 4-2-3-1. I think it looks good for us. It really does. Let's see, Hooligans. I think our starters need this motivation thing that our youngsters put in the work and got us the win as they push to make them work harder. Well, harder or not, it's a wake-up call, that's for sure. That result made everybody replaceable. That's what that just did. Is, well, you don't want to play, somebody else does. Best thing could ever happen to us, guys. Drop the link for the vid. Hey, you're getting a challenge there, brother, to drop the link, bam. They want to see the goal. I think that was for the goal for Torres. So Marvin Chavez, our Sifu Palacios flying back. Sorry, stepped away. Yes, but we don't know when or how close or how near it'll be to the game time. So we don't know yet. LA Wolf fan with 3 CB, Moon can now play freely. I've seen him burn out at time going from attack to defense. I agree. He's only really, really effective when the 5-man back, where there's 3 center backs and he's playing wing back. That's where he's been on fire. So with Blackman in the mix, again, you have a competition now that Ibiaga is showing what he can do. So there we are. Great point, LA Wolf fam. Same with Palacios on the other side. Yeah, I mean, you and for Blessing in the middle, you give him an out, basically, right? Because someone's already back there. So Palacios or Raheem, that is the talk. Did I hear Carson? Only once. Still want one of those BA jerseys. Hey, Tony, show off the BA jersey because that thing is fire.
Gotta get up now. So got LA, BA, and
yeah, the back. Boom, there it is. So that was one of those, dude. Trust me, we take kickball very seriously. With all the supporter groups, all had uniforms. It was pretty cool. The BA one was on point. Josue from our group stepped up and made that happen. Marvin Chavez giving shout out to 9 Inch Nails, right? How can you not? Classic. Hooligan laughing, probably at me. There it is. Roman Garcia 805. What's up, fella fam? Yeah, welcome on, brother. Mark Lopez, we take down RSL, run through Austin right after. We could string together a good points rally and be back in the playoffs. Even better, if we can string a pair of wins in there, there's a good chance by the time we play, I'm going to say it again, in Carson, we could pass them in the standings. That's if we have a good run now.
We can
catch.
We haven't been really talking about it because in our current run, we've had just to focus game to game. But this conversation has always been in talks. It's just we couldn't step over. Now that we've had the win, and now that we finally are quote unquote in a little bit of better form, we can have this conversation of we just need like another month. Like I think was July, like what we did. We're back in 4th, 5th, and we're fine again. So. Again, we just couldn't have the conversation until we got a win. Let's just be honest.
Well, you can't dare to dream unless you've taken that first step forward. And that's what we did. Hey, Roman's got a take here. 805 Roman says, I'll be there this Sunday. I was there last Friday too. Great game. Yeah, you were. I think I thought I saw some video pop up on your end. So, yeah, man, good stuff. We like that you're there. We like that we have new faces and some familiar back in the mix, doing what we got to do to make this happen. Mark Lopez, you might be the good luck charm, Roman. Make sure you wear the same socks and chonies you wore Friday. Oh, baby, as long as they're washed, right, people? Diego Rossi. Roman says Diego Rossi did not look happy to be in Turkey. Anyone agree? I think he's tired. I think it's jet lag, people. I do. No, he's got a chance to play in Europa League, and he's getting set up by Mesut Ozil. Sounds like fun.
Seeing some of the videos on the Fenerbahce's Instagram stories, seems like he's smiling, having a bit of fun. So, looking forward to watching him play in Fenerbahce.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him on a Europa League match. Honestly, that'd be super cool. A lot better than CCL, right, guys? Just a little bit. Just saying.
Just a step
Whatever
up.
you do, Bradley. Oh, I like this from him. Whatever you do, Bradley, don't sell Latif and Atuesta, right? Heart and soul. That's for sure.
I don't think the tee's going anywhere.
I hope not.
Atuesta.
And Roman says he's still wearing them now. There it is. And Mark Sucio. So there we go. Mark Lopez, with past international duty, we saw Miller and Zimmerman drop in quality. Any worried we might see with our guys this time around? I mean, in past, we've had guys go into quarantine after this and get infected. So anything is on the table when they come back from international play. Look at Brazil and Argentina, what they're going through. You don't know, right? Especially, I don't know what it is about the South American qualifiers and internationals in South America, but that's some wild stuff going on. Every time guys take off and go down there, something weird goes on. So I just hope our guys are safe. They've got their vaccinations. They come back and they play again. Simple, right? Dropping quality or not, I just hope they're healthy. We don't lose them for extended periods of time. I think that's the best we can ask for. And now that the kids can show what they got, they need a rest. They could take one. Marvin says, imagine 3 new DPs. That would be nuts. I can imagine it. Can you imagine it? Guys, do you think it's realistic?
I reckon just 2.
What if B-Rod goes in the winter? Maybe you find it. I don't think so either. But
with B-Rod, I think he's realized the mistakes he's made. He's matured mentally a lot more. So I see him looking at this going, I can do well here, stay here 2 years max, and then look at going overseas again. Show that I can win something here.
Right, because right now we need to build his value back up again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it's going to take to do that. And MLS a cup or a deep run could do that by the winter. Him going on a streak and scoring a bunch of goals or setting up a bunch could raise his value a little bit. So we'll see with Brian. He's the guy most likely to stay. Isn't that wild? Who thought this at this point, right? Who would have said that 6 weeks ago? And Vela being the one that might be the one on the way out. Like, yeah, who would have thought that mindset? But people talk, right? At the wrong times. And so we have a different viewpoint on things at this point. Ox, I agree with Marvin. We could, it could happen. 2 for sure, I think, if I'm going to put money on something. Do we see signing a newbie DP to finish the season? I don't think so. If we do sign somebody, it has to be somebody out of contract. There's some vets out there that actually could help us. I think Giovinco's a name that keeps popping up because I don't think he's signed with anybody right now. He's free. I think that's a 10 people. There could be somebody on a free that we could get. Would that be a DP? No way. If they can't get a contract right now, you get them for cheap. So
I say wait.
Maybe a vet. Yeah, not in a hurry. I mean, really, it's not in a hurry to buy some random old dude to rescue us because they're not. They're not.
Why throw money at a random old dude for 6 months contract when we've got these young kids who have proved themselves?
Yeah, you got to re-sign some of these kids. So where's the investment need to be? The youth. That's what we're built on. So the resale. Don't get much of a resale on an old dude. So it's tough. Mark Lopez. I love Vela, but I'm okay with him walking. Want to see more from Raito before he goes. Dude. Right here, man. I agree with you. Tony, you agree, right?
100%.
Yep. We want the guys that want to be here.
Yeah.
Marvin, if Raito performs great by end of season, let's say a goal and assist per game, that's a lot. Do we keep him as a DP or sell low mid money and get another DP along? I think if we get the right pot, we're selling him. If it's enough to recoup what we've lost, I think we cut bait, right? We just get what we can and move on. If we can break even, hey, good experience. Let's move on. Make a profit even better.
Yeah,
definitely want to let them go for a loss. They'll keep them on longer to make the value go up. But yeah, if they get the number, if it hits, he's gone. No question. It's business.
Here's a question for everyone. Would you keep him as a non-DP?
He wouldn't do it. That's just That's if we can swing it somehow, we could, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately.
Like Tam Gamet to death?
Yeah, I don't see that.
I just don't see. He won't take a cut. That's for sure.
I don't see John doing that, to be honest. He uses Tam Gam for other stuff, and he uses it for smart. The DP money is DP money for the reason, and John knows that. Again,
yeah.
Listen to our friends Max and Vince when they talk to Thornton about it, and he gives you a whole insight into everything, the way he does things.
Yeah, I don't see there being a new contract for anything related to B-Rod. He has what he has now. When that's done, he's done. Whether we sell him or not, that's what it's going to be. He doesn't come back for another contract. He has a pretty aggressive agent as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that guy's going to move him. They'll send him off to anywhere. He could be anywhere across this planet. If it's a pay rate, he's gonna send him along. That's for sure. That's life. How much time does Raito have left on his contract? 1, right? It's 1 after this. Yeah, one more season after this. So we'll see. This is the time, guys. This is the time. Could be a summer one next year. We'll see. Jason Lemus, I like the playoff system in MLS for those that wanted relegation overall standings to matter. If that was the case, the Revolution would be wrapping the league by now, and that's no fun. Hey, right? No, it's tradition. We're a playoff league. That is what it is. America. We just do our things differently. We play teams 3 times in one season and unbalance our schedules. We do funny things. We play on plastic fields and try to call that Soccer City, USA. What? We do weird things, people. It's soccer. Yeah. So get used to it. We're quirky. Marvin Chavez, update Rossi got signed for 4 years, didn't he? Gentleman's agreement from what I read.
Until the ink dries on that paper, I'll believe it.
I believe nothing until it's confirmed. And we don't talk numbers in our organization. We don't. I'm pretty sure Fenerbahce does, though, so we'll find out soon enough, right, when it's all said and done. So, yeah, nothing stays secret over there. So we'll all figure it out when it eventually happens. But it's a loan to buy. So it's not done yet. The soap opera continues. Marvin Chavez, we need to win against RSL. If we beat them, we surpassed them on the table. LAC 27 points, 30 right now. Dude, we muck up the whole standings if we move up. Right? The 6-point swing in conference is a beautiful thing. It changes the whole dynamic if we get this win. That's that important, for sure. Marvin, doesn't Raito qualify for the U22 DP spot, or is that for new signings only? You get 2 young DPs. Yeah, they used it on their Serbian player. I don't think we've used it yet, have we?
I think just for Raito.
Was that it?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think he is actually young.
He's a young DP. And Galaxy's going to Galaxy. They bend rules over there. Again.
There are no rules. There are no rules for them. There's no offside. There's no VAR. So we already know this. That's just how it goes.
The league will create a rule for them to not get in trouble. Let's just say that.
It's happened before. It'll happen again. So, nope from Marvin. Okay. Hooligan Ox, we have a good everyone. Let's get that win this weekend. Stay safe. Joe, enjoy your trip, brother. Yes. So the reason why we're on Tuesdays is I am going on a trip. Outside of the specifics, going to celebrate with the in-laws for birthdays and all that stuff this weekend. So I know I will be missing a home match on my birthday. What? I know. Wow. But the alternative is pretty awesome too, so I can't complain. Okay, so all good things. Puts us back next week. We'll see if I can get on camera for the next one, because I know we're going to try to squeeze one in before the Austin match, and then Thursday as well. I'll be on for the Thursday one, that's for sure. But yeah, we're going to try to squeeze one with Austin without me. Check that one out. That would be wild, unless I can somehow sneak in. So we shall see, my friends. But that PG is
ratings going out the window.
Happening. It's broken. Episode 203, death.
Yes.
So Marvin's giving us clarity because honestly, I was like stumped.
Yeah, same here.
We've never used one. He's a young DP, but this is the new under 22 DP initiative. I guess that was under the new contract. Okay, so thank you for clarity, Marvin.
Thank you.
So we can buy that. Jason, here's the question: since the season will all be condensed every 3 or 4 days, like quite a few games, any chance Snega sees any play? Honestly, I don't have any confidence he's getting any play. It's sad but true.
It's all in for Romero. It's all in for Romero.
Guess who's getting the Bubba Lopez treatment?
Yes, he's getting sold
Snega.
End of season.
It's sad.
He's still under contract for one more season?
I believe so.
Sheesh. All these contract questions. Too early, people. I know this. We'll figure it out. We're gonna let's hope the guys get the win for your birthday. I hope so, man. Super hope so. And Ollie stays in the stadium. That's my other hope for my birthday. So there it is. So thank you guys for the comments. Man, you guys ripped it up today. Good stuff. All positivity. I dig that. So of course, tradition dictates that we close things out in style and give our final takes. So they're looking right now. Who's it going to be? So I'm going to do this. Bam. It's on you, sir.
It's on me.
Yes, my friend.
Before we get into it, going by transfer market, Pablo Snega contract ends end of the year.
So unfair.
Wow, no money back.
No.
Maybe we signed him.
Yeah, trade deadline's over. We'll see what happens there. Okay. All right.
So final thought of this game. Last week I asked for young kids to step up. They stepped up big time. This week, I hope they carry the ride of it, and I hope to see a nice photo of Mohamedou Fall up next to Tony in the stands.
That's not going to happen. I missed that opportunity. That went out the window.
Yeah. I don't think it's our turn to get him in our section again. I'll probably go over to D9U or somehow squeeze through the middle and hang out with Cheeky. But, you know.
It depends where he scores the goal from. No, but honestly, everyone in the comments, thank you very much for putting in the work with the comments and all that. Thanks to everyone. Get out there this week. I know a lot of people were saying that they didn't want to go to last game because we've had a bad run of form. That changes in one game. 90 minutes, 1 second. It can change just like that, as we saw. I'll admit, going into this game, I was a bit hesitant on what would happen. But damn, it was a good game to watch.
Yeah. Felt
so
good.
This week,
felt really good.
Get out there and just enjoy it.
Good words, my friend. Good words. Love it. Tony, you're the man. Your turn.
I did want to show up. I love this team and stuff like that, but also relationships come first with your significant other because they push you and guide you in there. So I, again, will start off with thank you to my significant other, Kayla, for always supporting me through all this and letting me do this podcast late at night. But my final word for tonight is just go out there and support. Like I said, we'll be there. Let's win this one and get back into the swing of things and pretty much just shut the doubters. In other words, in our own family and outside, because again, everyone outside of this are looking for us to fail. Because again, everyone calls us we're the MLS's darlings or whatever they like to call us because we bring everything, whatever. But it's not the truth. The truth is the north end, the south end, wherever you stand, that is what matters. You know what I mean? Because we'll support no matter how bad our team is, no matter how good the team is, because our team is our team. Nothing else.
Right. That's it. Through and through. The brand, the logo, the crest. the city. We don't change. Players come, players go. Tony's on that. You got to support. En las buenas y las malas, right? Good times, bad. You got to be there. Avoiding the game because we might get a loss is weak sauce. Weak sauce. You got to be there. You got to be loudest when the team is struggling the most. That is how it works. You sing it through. You fight it through. You give them the example. That's how it's always been in supporter culture. It's how it's got to be. You're your strongest when your team is their weakest. That's for certain. We did that in this last match. The 32-52 was rocking. We didn't know what the results are going to be, but we were there. We showed up. New faces, old faces, doesn't matter. It's still the 32-52 when the whistle blows. They were there. I expect that from everyone else in the stadium. Good times and bads, you need to be there. You just need to be there. Why? Because this is your town. This is your city. You can't seed it ever. Results or not, it's still your club. Fight for it.
Like I said, the good thing that came out of it was a lot of new LAFC fans got to see their team in person. And that, so for all the people who didn't want to go because they didn't want to see another loss, thank you for not going, because you let a kid, an adult, anybody experience what we get to experience every day. Every game, sorry.
And just like a grumpy DP, you've shown that you're replaceable as well at the end of the day.
Even
so,
me.
Dang, but it wasn't by choice, man.
Shout out Ethan.
Dude, Ethan killed it. I gotta say that the capo stand was ripping. New faces holding down fort, and they did. So you guys lived it, and all those kids from USC that was behind them that were doing it. You had a big game to deal with, also, right? But you were there for LAFC. So shout out to all of you that did what you did on the day. It was absolutely beautiful to see. It was a touching moment for our players, for everyone involved on the day. If you weren't there, I'm sorry you missed out. Be there for the next one. They're going to need you every game until we get to the playoffs, because this is going to be a war to the end. This is a tight division. We don't know where we're going to end this year. We could be the road team. Who knows? We just got to get in this time around. And once we're in, you don't know where it takes you. We talk about it all year. Seattle. Look what they've done. They've had 500 seasons and won the whole thing. Well, that can be us. Look, they won an MLS Cup without a single shot on goal. The only team to ever do that. No shots on goal and you win an MLS Cup. Anything can happen in this league, people. So stick it out. We'll get there. We got a lot to look forward to. A lot of young players to get excited about. So be there. Be there for the show. Make it happen. I need you guys to support since I can't be there. Do it for me, people. Do it for me. All right. Do it for my family. We won't be there for this one, but we'll be there in spirit. So you hold it down. At the end of the day, of course, we show our faces in community events like we did this weekend, in the stands, all over the city. Black and gold is Los Angeles. Los Angeles is always black and gold. So on that note, are you ready, guys? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Stay
golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.